because that's my whole philosophy. This is one of the things in my life that I've truly given my all to, and it's been blessing me so far. So
when you give your all, you can't miss. You know, one of my teachers once said that if you ever see a man and he's willing to stake even his own existence on a goal, get out of his way. You know, 'cause he'll run you over.
I love it. See that? Yeah. Yeah, that's me into a nutshell right there. All right. So I understand growing up you were into tennis. Tennis was one of your big things.
I love tennis.
Tennis, and who's your favorite tennis player growing up?
Arthur Ashe.
Arthur Ashe? All right, yeah, he was good player right there.
When I was growing up, he was the first African-American tennis player that I saw. You know, and at that time, he was winning. You know, he was number one in the world. So, and then I had the privilege that he came down to our high school and gave our trophies to our top guys.
Oh, really?
I wasn't one of the top guys at that time. I wasn't in the top 4 or 5 that got to actually hit with him and talk to him and stuff. But just to be there in his presence, you know, was like, wow. And then once I got to prison and read about him, you know, made it go even higher, that the guy was an activist, you know. He was the first one to start wearing color clothes on the tennis court.
Yeah.
Man. He set so many standards, you know. I mean, it's funny because nowadays our athletes and our entertainers are being quiet. You know, when there's ill justices going on and things are happening, they're not speaking out, you know. They're just getting their money and they run in their little corner and they just hide. You know, like the world don't even exist. But Arthur Ashe wasn't like that, man. He got arrested in South Africa. I mean, you know, he really used his status as a betterment for all.
Yeah. Okay, so your favorite player was Arthur Ashe, and when I talked to you last week, one thing I found interesting, you were talking about when you played tennis, there was a guy that came and gave you guys shoes sometimes when you didn't have them, and that guy ended up being a bigwig somewhere, like later on in life, and you were able to help him out. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, it was just a situation where this guy used to help me. Otis Smith was his name. He's the guy who found Anita Baker and quite a few other artists. Used to be the president of CBS and Motown back in the 70s. I didn't know that then, but he used to help me out, you know, when I was a kid. And then later on in life, when I got rich, he needed a favor, and I returned the favor.
Yeah, when you told me, I thought that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's always wonderful when you can help somebody that help you. You know, it's like nothing like it. You know, and I was able to pay that favor back. You know. Yeah,
I mean, I love giving to people because that's what it's all about. Even if they don't give back, it's about giving.
Yeah, your blessings will come from somewhere else. You know, it's a thing that they say. You know, the universe always pay you back.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you get. You know, life is like a boomerang. You put it out and it's gonna come back. It may not come back the way you thought it was gonna come, but it's gonna come back.
It'll come back eventually.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wanted to ask you about boxing real quick. Floyd Mayweather Jr. I understand you guys know each other.
Yeah. That's my man. We cool.
Okay. He's undefeated. Do you think he is the best boxer of all time? I mean, you compare him to Ali, Tyson.
It could be. You know, pound for pound, he could be the most dynamic fighter ever. I mean, you know, he's just amazing. You know, can't nobody hit him. You know, I talked to a couple of boxers, you know, and they was like, man, you can't hit Floyd. You know, he's just so his defense is so well, and they say he's so quick that it's crazy.
Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather's good, and if he happens to run through this rest of his contract that he just signed, and he goes undefeated, he, in my book, will be the best of all time. I think he already might be there, but I think if he finishes his career undefeated, by far will be the best of all time.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can beat him right now because I don't think these other fighters are willing to make the sacrifice and dedication to get there. You know, one thing about Floyd, you know, he gets up and he trains hard, even though you know one thing about when they become good and they got money, you know, money makes them lazy. You know, they don't have that drive and that hunger anymore, but he just don't seem to lose that drive and that hunger that he had. And well, you know, a lot of it is that he wants to be great.
Yeah.
You know, in his heart, he wants to be the greatest fighter of all time. Almost like the same thing with Kobe wanting to be better than Mike,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in basketball. Even though I don't think he would admit that, but, you know, everybody knows that was one of his goals, to try to bypass what Mike did.
All right, well, we're gonna stick with sports, but I was debating on asking you this question, but I'm gonna ask it because this is a Takeover Sports Show, and we ask all the questions that need to be asked, all right? So, the question that people wanna know, does the real Rick Ross play fantasy football?
No, I don't.
Why not? It's a beautiful thing. People wanna know if you play. You don't? I think you should play. What if I gave you an honorary position in my league?
I probably would try it, you know what I'm saying? I'd be so busy though, you know, right now my life is really, really serious right now.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that I'm at a crucial point in my life to where I could go like here, or I could, you know, go under, you know, so I just don't have time to really divulge to anything beside things that's gonna elevate my career. I started a process when I was in prison, and it's like an elimination process, and what I try to do is get rid of everything that's gonna sink the boat. Anything that might sink the boat, I try to dump it overboard. So fantasy football got dumped overboard, you know.
You know what? It's all right. We'll give you the honorary team, and then if you want to fix it and check on it, you can have it because it's the most up-and-coming fantasy football league out there.
Okay.
King of LA Sports Fantasy Football League. And Rick Ross might be a part of it.
Might be a part of it, okay.
All right, and watch out for his team. All right, so sticking with football, I wanted to ask you a couple football questions. Like, you know about Johnny Football from Texas A&M and stuff like that, the Heisman Trophy winner?
No, I didn't.
About that?
I didn't hear about that.
Okay, well.
What happened?
Well, he had gotten into, you know, he won the Heisman his freshman year. So
Wow.
he had gotten into some trouble like during the off season, and he was, you know, that he was supposed to be at appearances and didn't show up because they said he was drunk and he couldn't make it. You know, just living the good life.
Well, you know what? I mean, getting drunk, smoking weed, you know, those are things that go along with being in college. I mean, they expect the football players, the basketball players, the track stars, and those guys not to do it when everybody else on the campus is doing it. So it's part of the college experience.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they should be singled out just because they play sports. You know, the same thing happened with Cliff Harris. You know, he had a couple incidents off the field, and they kicked the kid off the team, and which caused him a job and a career. You know, I think that it's wrong for them to punish those kids like that.
I think so too. And then this brings me to my next question. What do you think about college athletes getting paid? Because I think they should be paid a little bit. This is what I think. I think they should get maybe $10 to $15 an hour for guys that don't start, and then the starters get like 20, because then it's like a real life scenario. You get the guys that are making $10 to $15 an hour trying to make starters where they make more money, and this teaches them life lessons, because that's how it is in life.
I agree.
Like, you got to work your way up, and that's why a lot of these guys end up going broke when they go from college to pros, because they end up having to eat nothing through college, like barely getting through, and then when they get to pros, they get the $1 million and they just blow it. So college should be teaching kids about life. I believe that's how it should be. I mean,
I don't see any harm with paying, and especially with those colleges making so much money.
Millions.
And it's ridiculous for those kids to be at school, and you know, some of those kids come from backgrounds, you know, who parents need help, you know. So I think that there should be some type of pay system worked out where those kids, I mean, and then you look at it like this here. If you're a regular student at school, you can go and you can get a job as an actor and get paid. But if you play football or basketball, guess what? You can't do that. You can't go and do a commercial. So why should these kids be penalized for being good? You know, I don't know. It's crazy. This whole system, to me, it needs some tweaking here and there to make it better. And you know, that's what I do right now. You know, I'm out on the street working with kids, because a lot of these kids in South Central are great athletes, but they don't have their grades together. Just different things, you know. They don't have the home support to help them get to the next level, and you know, I want to be that guy that you know, maybe give them that hand, you know, sometimes they don't have a ride, and you know, just sometimes they don't have tennis shoes like the guy did for me when I played tennis when I didn't have tennis shoes, and he bought me tennis shoes. So, you know, I started a foundation just so that I could start helping kids through these situations.
What's the foundation called so that people know?
The foundation is Freeway Literacy Foundation. You can go to freewayliteracy.org and check it out. And if you want to support me, give me a hand, hit me up. I'm here.